What's the difference between earnest money and down payment for a home purchase? That's what we're talking about today, and we're going to get started right now. Earnest money or good faith deposit indicates that the buyer is putting money down, showing their good faith in moving forward with the transaction. When the sale proceeds successfully to settlement, the earnest money or good faith deposit comes back to the buyer as a credit at the time of settlement. Earnest money or good faith money is generally between 1% and 5% of the purchase price. Sometimes the market conditions will dictate that a larger deposit is better. Generally speaking, sellers are more favorable to a larger deposit because that indicates the buyer is serious about purchasing the home and moving forward with the transaction. Once your offer is accepted, the good faith deposit or earnest money deposit is generally deposited into either the title company's account, who's going to be handling the settlement, or more commonly, at least in Pennsylvania, it generally is held by the listing brokerage in a special escrow account, which is a non-interest bearing account, and that gets held there until settlement. Quite often, buyers are confused about the difference between a down payment and an earnest money deposit. The difference is that the down payment is going to be regulated by your mortgage professional and whatever type of financing you're using. For example, if you have to put 3% down or 3.5% down, that's going to be something that you're going to work out with your lender, and that money is money that you need to put down against the mortgage of your home. That money is money that you'll need by settlement, and again, your lender can give you some great guidance with that, but that is a separate thing from the deposit that you're using for your earnest money, which is just that, a deposit which will come back to you as a credit at settlement. There are a few instances where buyers can put their earnest money deposit in jeopardy, and that means they could have to give up their deposit in order to be freed up and released from the transaction. Some of those examples would be in a situation where there's deadlines that are not met and the appropriate paperwork and extensions are not filed. Another instance would be where a buyer just simply gets cold feet and decides to terminate for no reason. Another thing that happens sometimes where buyers have to give up their deposit is if they find that they found a new property they like even better than the one they've got under contract and decide to terminate, again, without reason, your deposit can be at jeopardy. And one more example would be if the buyer decides, because the market's hot, to make their deposit non-refundable and then simply changes their mind, the deposit generally is non-refundable. The deposit can be refundable if something happens where the buyer can no longer qualify for financing, or something comes up in the inspections which cannot be successfully negotiated through. So there are a few examples of times when the deposit could be refundable, but it's always best to know all of your options on the front end of the transaction, and that's why it's so important to have a professional guiding you through the process. Again, keep in mind that the down payment is something that's relative to your loan, and you'll want to discuss that with your lender. The earnest money deposit or good faith deposit is something that goes in with your contract at the time that you submit your offer, and that's something you'll want to discuss with your real estate professional. If you found this helpful, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like the video, and we've got a whole playlist of videos specific to buyers and specific to sellers, as well as a playlist of items about Lancaster County, my hometown. I'm Jennifer King with RE/MAX. If I can ever be of any assistance, don't hesitate to reach out. I look forward to hearing from you. Have a great day.